Gate 14 podcast. The Jays just split a series. We won a baseball game, Avery. The Toronto Blue Jays have won a baseball game. How are we feeling, Ave? It feels good.
God damn it, man. Thought the season was over. On Tuesday, yeah. You just quite literally think the season's over, and then you get a 1 o'clock game the next day, and everything just turns around. It is so crazy when the top of the order gets going. The team is just good. And scoring insurance runs, what that does. Awesome.
Crazy philosophy, huh?
Yeah. What a
Crazy.
what a turnaround. Holy shit. What a
No,
turnaround.
Avery, we gotta pump the brakes here about the turnaround. I mean,
No. Just like it, I quite literally started thinking about September, October plans last night. Like
yeah,
that's what happened.
yeah. And another thing, it's like, we are pretty much talking like, and honestly, this is probably the worst start in my mind I've ever had to a Toronto Blue Jays season. And this team is only
With
3 games below
expectations.
500.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
You know what? In the grand scheme of things, it's not been great. We know that. I will take the little wins until they add up. A win after a closed door meeting means we got good leadership. I'll cope. Like I'm gonna cope right now. I have to. Like I need to stay positive. The baseball season's way too long for me to get down every
yeah.
single day. I was replying to people on Twitter yesterday. I was just kind of like in a sour mood, and I brought it to the timeline. And you know what? I didn't feel good about that. So it is true.
Well, there was a beat reporter that rarely pushes your buttons,
I didn't even
but
push my buttons. As Scott Mitchell said, it would be nice for Bo and Vladdy to show a little emotion. I
and
was
then
like,
you bodied him and literally 3 days ago showed a
Scott,
video.
he threw his helmet. He got kicked out, man. Like we all know that. We didn't even watch the game. You see it on Twitter. So I was just like, yeah, I'm not trying to body people. That was interesting
Well, it
that,
was he was trying to make a point that clearly maybe he's not paying attention to the games, and you bodied him. Like
yeah,
it was an unintentional body bag from you because his response, Avery, period, it was just like, you got me. Like
yeah,
he
like
he pretty much just said like, shit. You got me. You got me in the reply.
I wanted to know what he thought that emotion was, or what he'd classify it
Happiness,
as.
maybe? I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
you know what?
I'm not
That's
sure.
fine.
I'm not sure. But should we address the elephant in the room?
We have no sponsor.
We have no sponsor. I want to address this. So Sports Interaction, this is nothing with them, obviously. This is just them not being worried with that type of stuff. There is a company out there that has it against us. Let's make this very clear, right? Like they just have it against us. They hate us. They are crumb bum scumbags. I'm not gonna name what company it is. And they threaten essentially to sue Sports Interaction if they continue to do stuff with us. Uh, Sports Interaction, we went through all the proper things. We took the Blue Jays logos out from behind us. We cleaned up everything. We changed our logo, all that stuff to meet the requirements. Legally, I think we're in the right here.
They
Is
weren't willing to
not
take the risk
is not
anymore.
willing to take the risk. So obviously, it sucks. It was a very significant amount of money that we essentially kind of missed out on.
Well, now it's been taken from us.
It's been
So
taken from us from that crumb bum company, and I will work my ass off to ensure to bury this company and work my ass off to send Gate 14 to the moon. If that doesn't make you want to run through a brick wall, I don't know what will. Small setback, major comeback for the Gate 14 boys. You truly hate to see it, but that's the business game, right, Avery? I mean, listen, when you play the scare tactic game with smaller companies, I'm not saying Sports Interaction's the smallest company ever. They're gonna obviously not turtle, but they're gonna backpedal and obviously try to benefit their company. So, tough bounce, tough break, but we move forward. And like I said, this is not a Blue Jays thing. The Blue Jays reached out to us and contacted us and
the
said they
Blue Jays
love
have
us.
said the old logo can come back,
Yeah,
by
the
the way.
Blue Jays have said this is quote unquote from the Toronto Blue Jays. The old logo can come back. This is a company thing, not named Blue Jays or not named Rogers. So they know who they are. And they've had it out for the Gate 14 boys. I don't know if we've talked about this on here before, but they've offered Avery a job and tried to separate us at one point. So they know where they're at. They have it out for me. I don't know if they have it out for me or they have it out for Gate 14, but I'll do everything in my power to make sure this company, I'll be popping bottles. If whatever happens to this company happens, I'll be popping bottles. And I'll be working my dick off to make sure Gate 14 is on the moon, and then I will not stop. So appreciate everything Sports Interaction did for us. Obviously, they're honoring everything they've done for us so far, a contract agreement and all that. But from going forward now, we are a free agent. We are Juan Soto of the baseball world. I think I've handled this pretty respectfully because I really did want to bury this company. And I've never seen really Avery really mad, but Avery was mad.
Well, now they're just like legit taking our money. It's a
Yeah,
little bit
yeah,
different
yeah.
when it's the other way around, but you're taking money straight out of my pocket. So
Yeah, and I'm not saying it's life-changing money, but it's
it's
it's it's up there where me and Avery could probably afford to live by ourselves and
do this full time.
and do this full time. And it was just luckily we didn't move out or any of that stuff and committed to it before this happened, or we'd be fucked. So if I know that company's listening, fuck you, and we'll just move on from there. I mean, like I said, man, I've handled this as respectfully as possible, but
Some
yeah,
people might
sports.
think differently, but I think it's pretty good.
I think it's like I said, I'm not naming the company out of respect for them because we know our cult-like listeners would bury them into the ground. So, credit to me for being respectful. But anything other than that, though, minor setback, major comeback. That's not going to stop the Gate 14 giveaways we do for people like tickets and stuff. Although it'll be a little bit of a dent in our pockets, but we're going to still grind for you guys and work our dicks off. So,
The money was never the object of doing Gate 14.
exactly, we
It was
started this for fun.
it's always going to be a nice perk that goes on and can help us like go forward in our lives, but at the end of the day we did this for 2 years without making a cent, well actually costing us money all the time. So I don't
Yeah.
it makes me kind of love doing it more, to be honest.
Yes.
It's like,
Yeah, it's like we're just going back to our roots. We're back in the minor leagues. We're
yeah,
grinding away.
we're back on
Grinding.
the bus, we're eating PB&J.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
were Addison Barger is what we did. You're
Yeah, exactly.
up for a little bit and now sending us back down.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for humbling us. But
Yeah.
just know I'll be working my ass off here to grind away. But anyways, go back into the baseball stuff. We had to let you guys know. Obviously, we're very transparent with the listeners. We already got a couple questions about it. We got a couple questions about it before we started, like before we were doing live streams and stuff. So I had to address it. I said I address it on the pod. So there's us addressing it. But let's go into the games, Avery. Before we go into the games, the Sanchez is back. Toronto Blue Jays have signed Aaron Sanchez to a minor league deal. If you are listening to this podcast, he is pitching this Friday for Buffalo Bisons. I will be scoreboard watching like crazy for
Dude,
that game.
can you believe how badly our starting pitching depth has gotten to a point where Aaron Sanchez in the year of our good Lord 2024 is getting a minor league deal with the Toronto Blue Jays? Insane stuff. It's nuts. So many people got hurt that we signed Aaron fucking Sanchez. I legit think R.A. Dickey could throw innings too in AAA. Like,
Oh,
why don't we just get the band back together? Why don't we
Marco
do
Estrada, he threw out the first pitch for Vancouver
We had
yesterday.
Drew
Great.
Hutchison last year. Fuck. Like they sometimes you gotta go back to go forwards, John. Like honestly, how many Marco Estrada, yeah, change up at the Vancouver Canadians game for the first pitch. I think they're trying to get everyone loose right now.
I
Ricky
will
Romero
say
said he's out. We can ask him again. We can shoot him a text. Seems like he's out. But maybe everyone else wants to give it another go.
It was a funny headline that came across my phone. See, Aaron Sanchez is signed with the Toronto Blue Jays. Listen, I can't believe he's 31.
Really?
Avery, he is 31 years old, dude.
So he is younger than he's younger than Bassett.
He's younger than Bassett, younger than Gossman, younger than Kikuchi. He is younger than the entire staff.
He's 31. Like you're not fucking with
No,
me.
I'm not. I swear to God, he's 31.
Oh my god, Aaron Sanchez, 31 years old.
Years old. I know, dude. I thought he was like 40. He was pitching when I was in high school.
Did he even play last year?
Yeah, he did in double. People did not like my troll tweet that he had a 2 ERA last year.
Yeah,
People,
I saw someone quote teach you and said this guy's like a Roger Schill or whatever, but now he's just lying. So he pitched in both AAA leagues.
which is good. A little bit of a good mix. Get a
Well,
feel.
the PCL is just the hitter's haven, right? They talk about
Yeah.
how good that is.
Yeah.
He had a 6.6 ERA there. Okay. That's shitty.
That's terrible, bro.
He went 4-4 for the St. Paul Saints last year. That's the Twins AAA team.
Yeah,
Um, he was striking out 7 hitters per 9 innings
that's really good.
and a whip of 1.740.
Let's make this clear. Aaron Sanchez will not be starting for this team. Okay.
Really? You think
Are you out of your mind, Avery?
like how bad do things have to go?
I think there has to be a death. Aaron Sant, dude, he was like one of the worst statistical pitchers in AAA last year.
Yeah.
Unless Pete Walker is like FaceTiming him during his bullpens and like, we got to get you back to the old you, brother. No blisters. Let's get you back to the old you. That's the only way we're fixing you.
Yeah, no, he is probably last on the depth chart of AAA pitchers to get called up. I just wanted to have a little fun, man. Think about it.
It would be nostalgic because a lot of people get to dust up their old Aaron Sanchez jerseys,
Yeah.
and just be like, all right, we got the Sanchez back. Because I know there was a lot of them. That year he had, that Cy Young finalist season was ridiculous. Do you
Yeah.
remember that?
He had an ERA title, did he not?
I don't know if it was ERA title.
Well, I'm looking at his baseball reference page and it says he has an ERA title.
Holy shit.
And his ERA
Was 3.
was 3. Was that the year he did it? Must have
Yeah.
been.
15-2 with a 3 ERA.
15-2 is insane. 15-2.
Then he just fell off the face of the earth after that.
Man, he had 161 strikeouts in 192 innings.
He was that dude, Abe.
He just refused to give up home runs.
It's insane. What if he just shoves again? Let's be nostalgic. What if he just starts shoving again?
Okay, so the last time he was in Major League Baseball was 2022. He
How did
pitched
that go?
16 innings, started 10 games, and his ERA, his ERA plus was 4.48.
You're reading that wrong. 60 innings.
Yeah. I thought that's what I said.
You said 16.
Oh, I meant to say 60. He had 6.6 ERA. That's just who he is, unfortunately. He's a 6.6. But as a Toronto Blue Jay, which we need to take into account, he has a career 3.96 ERA.
Wow. Sometimes when you throw on the jersey with the leaf on it, it just switches things up. And I get it. I'm on the Sanchez side. I will say it will be objectively funny if he does pitch for this team at some point. Like we said that about Drew Hudson. Drew Hudson didn't start for this team last year.
It would be crazy if he starts because he'd have to be selected to the 40-man. Yeah, that means a lot of things would have to have gone
It is
because like Chad Dallas and stuff are on the 40-man, I believe. He would get called up before.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like someone would have to there'd have to be like a major injury for him to start for the Toronto Blue Jays. But yeah, Aaron Sanchez is back. Next thing I want to talk about, let's go into the series, Avery. Let's go to the series. Let's just knock it out of the way here. If you are listening to this, Gate 14 After Dark will be coming up soon. The premiere, the debut. I cannot wait to hear some of the shit people say. Looking forward to it. All right, Avery. First game, 10-1. 10-1 Phillies. Jose Barrios got roughed up, and you said it on the pod, I believe. Like, his advanced numbers, like, he was getting hit hard, right? Like,
yeah, it's just kind of been at people.
Yeah.
Jose Barrios was, when I do fantasy stuff for work, it's who are, like, I can't watch every single starting pitcher. So sometimes you just look at the stats and it's some of the predictive stats, xFIP, hard hit percentages, Sierra, what are those stats telling you about these players? And most of those stats had told me that Jose Barrios was getting very lucky. He was getting skulled all over the yard and they were just at people, which is awesome. Like, he was legitimately great in the first month. But if you go to percentile rankings, which I don't love to do, he's getting, like, every ball he's giving up. So right now, a hard hit percentage and hard hit rate is balls hit over 95 miles an hour. His hard hit percentage against 48.9%. One of every 2 baseballs coming off the bat from Jose Barrios is getting hit 95 plus.
wow.
It
Wow.
sometimes you're going to get beat like that. And the Phillies are a good team. Kind of got after them. Some shenanigans happen. The Schwarber check swing should be out of the inning, and then Bryce hits the grand slam. All of those things go into account. The Phillies just kind of ambushed him, and he couldn't recover. It was just something that was going to happen. Happens to most pitchers, but the stats had been telling you that some regression might happen. So his ERA 2.85, but his expected ERA is 4.93.
Holy shit.
He's in bottom 6% of the league in a hard hit rate against. It's tough.
Not great.
It's been tough. And the ground ball, 44.3%. He's getting a ground ball. So it's going in the air. I'll look what his home run to fly ball percentage is because he might have been getting lucky in that category as well. Awesome first month. That start's gonna happen. I'm not too worried. Like he'd been finding a way to get outs, and you can do that over a whole year. You can get
Especially
lucky.
with this defense.
Yes, you can get lucky for a full season. It's what I've learned doing this for a little bit now. You can get lucky over a full season. But that shitty start just happened. The Phillies were so hot too,
He was
man.
due too, though, right? Like he was
100%.
due.
Yeah, you know what? Am I worried about him long term? No. That start just sucked.
Yes, that start sucked. I mean, they just, like you said, man, they did what a good lineup does. This Phillies lineup is one of the best in baseball. That wasn't even their big dogs playing either. Like Cody Clemens, what the hell? A double and a single away from the cycle, hits a moon bomb. Uh, it was just they clearly had a game plan against Barrios, and they clearly stuck with it and just absolutely mashed
Yeah.
off him.
Got a
And you
couple got
mentioned
a
it.
couple more things for you here. He is running his highest left on base percentage. That'll help his low ERA. So far this season, 86.7% left on base.
Wow.
His career 73.1%. So that should figure itself out, get closer together, I would think.
Yeah.
Um, and then batting average on balls in play. He'd been, I know this is the classic stat where you say, okay, if it's high, um, like good things are happening to you as a hitter. If it's low, you're getting unlucky. But Barrios, I think it kind of tells the story of what has gone on. Just really good defense behind him as well. Batting average on balls in play so far this season, 254. In his career, it's 294. So again, those things are going to figure itself out. I don't think Jose Barrios is the 2.5 ERA pitcher that we have him, but if we get him close, like if he sits a full season at a 3.8 ERA, giving you a ton of innings, that's the pitcher that we want. That's a very
Yeah.
good major league pitcher.
And a good stat. They showed it on Sportsnet today. He is in the top 5 in baseball of innings pitched since 2018, I believe. So this is a guy that eats innings and just knock on wood stays healthy. So he's been healthy majority of his tenure here with the Toronto Blue Jays, and he's a massive part of this team, and he is the least of the worries for this team, Avery, right?
Yeah, 100%. That's just more advanced numbers coming at you
Yeah.
as to why the numbers don't like Jose Barrios so far this season. But the regular counting stats you're going to look at, AL pitcher of the month, I will take that every single time.
Yes. Yeah. But other things from that game, I will say I'll give his flowers. I don't know if I like him as a person technically, but Zach Pop has been incredible. Absolutely incredible out of the bullpen. Comes in yesterday, gives you 1 inning, no runs, comes in today, shuts the door, gets you 3 outs, I believe, on 6 pitches, they said, or someone tweeted it, or 2 outs or 3 outs on
I think
six
you got
pitches, I believe.
6 outs on 12 pitches in the
Six
last
outs
two
on
days.
12 pitches, something
That
like
was a
that.
that was
Yeah.
a Ricky Hart thing.
Yes. So he's been good. Zach Paul's been really good. Uh, what do you do here with him though, Avery?
He he's the obvious last man in the pen, no matter what, I think, just based on who's coming back. Because he kind of did this last year too, right? Where we gave him some leverage, he did really well, and then there was a little blow up in the middle of it. When you think of guys like this too, Pop, and you see their like minor league numbers, do you think it's hard for them to kind of get it up when they're in the minors, knowing that they'd been in the bigs? And
We talked about that with Manoa, right?
it feels a little different though, because Pop spends extended time there.
Yeah.
His stuff has
Yeah.
been nasty, dude. 97 with sink. The slider to Cody Clemens today to strike him out was nasty. His stuff looks great on TV. That's all we can see. Yeah, so I think you just ride the hot hand while you can.
Yeah, he's one of the bright spots in this bullpen who's last place right now in baseball at ERA. It's a harsh reality, but
Yeah, we've been betting on them to be as good as last season, and that was always going to be hard. We thought it was kind of a no-brainer. I was in there too. I was like, yeah, they're going to be good again. But Tim Mays is down 5 miles an hour. Swanee hasn't been Swanee. So tough go for the pen at this point, but there's good
yeah.
enough arms. There's good enough arms there to get it right.
Hashtag pen is shaky. Pen is shaky. But Trevor Richards has been great though. Silver Fox has been good. Again, gave you a 0 yesterday. I know it's a few bright spots in that game because I believe every pitcher
There
besides him
wasn't
and
a
Zach.
lot of bright spots. Like we can go to the discourse. How did you feel after things yesterday? Because there was a lot of this team is built like not built properly. It's bad. And I know it's an insane thing to say this early, but if it felt that way last night, I can't gaslight you into thinking you didn't feel that yesterday.
Yeah,
People who
I'm
are listening to
I'm a
this right now.
crazy person. Some are gonna call me delusional idiot. I still believe in this team. I know we've been hard on them. I saw they had the fifth hardest schedule in baseball. Then for the remainder of the season, they had the third hardest schedule in
Can you
baseball, which
explain to me how that's even possible?
I guess the AL East opponents they have, man. I think it's the AL East being everyone above 500. They face the AL East a shit ton. You got to think, right? They haven't faced the Orioles yet. They haven't faced the Red Sox yet, who are above 500. They haven't. They've played the Yankees a decent amount. They haven't faced the Rays yet, who are above 500 now or close to it. I think it's that goes into it, and obviously you're facing
It just depends on
it'll
what opponents you face.
yeah, like the thing is like the Oakland Athletics are also a team that's decent record, so that accounts for it as well. They faced the A's, I think, two more times. Uh, so it'll even out. I don't think it's the third hardest schedule. It'll be the third hardest schedule once we get deeper into the season. But as of right now, it is. But what I was saying is, Avery, and I will be called delusional. I will be called an idiot for this. I still believe in the Toronto Blue Jays. I know I'll let you have it. I'll clip this. I'll throw it on TikTok. I'll let you have it. I will I am delusional. I'm an idiot. I still believe in this team, man. Vladdy's starting to turn it around. This team is 3 games below 500, playing genuinely the worst baseball I have ever seen as a Toronto Blue Jays fan with the expectations they have. Vladdy's starting to turn it around. He's looked great. I believe he has over a 900 OPS his last 10 games. We're really starting to figure it out. Uh, the bottom of the order is starting to string together good at bats for you. It's I think this team is in a good spot. I think they will be in a good spot in the long run. I trust this starting pitching. The bullpen has been really, really bad, which is something that is very foreign to us if you've watched this team the last two seasons. I think this team is a playoff team. Do I think this team is a AL East contender? No, but I think this team is enough to get you to the playoffs, to get you to the dance. Will some people argue that's not good enough with this payroll? Sure. But I truly do think this is a playoff team. I really do. I know the odds are against me on this, but I think when we are talking about this team in September, we will be a playoff team, or I'll get old takes exposed and body bagged on the internet. That's where I'm at.
Yeah. And I think that's where us being fans and not covering the team, deep down in my heart, I feel like we can win every game. And then I think it's the first inning where that hope kind of goes out the window sometimes. But every day I get excited to watch the game. And sometimes it takes it out of you right away. The George Springer hitting leadoff thing, like
Oh,
it feels crazy to me. We are getting Jano in as often as possible right now. Bare minimum, Davis is playing pretty much every day. Do we
yeah.
want them to be moved up? Yes. Do we want the lineup to be changed? Yes. Do we think that can help? Absolutely. But again, at the end of the day, this team is 3 games under 500, playing the worst baseball I have ever seen.
Ever, ever. Like dead from like the third inning if they're losing.
Yeah.
Dead. I like I said, I don't know. It's just
Bo
I
Bichette
think
led the AL in hits for 2 of the last 3 seasons.
yes.
And that guy has a weighted runs created plus of -50 in the last 14 days.
Once he gets going, it's gonna be scary because you know he is pushing. This guy is a competitor. He is probably grinding his dick off in the cage right now to figure this out. He's probably watching film like crazy. When he does figure this out, it is going to be a problem.
Yeah.
I am
Do I
looking
think
forward
they
to
have
seeing
the
that.
top end talent that the other teams in the division have? The Yankees, the Orioles? No, we don't have the top end talent that they do, right? Um, I think this is a good ball club. We're fighting for the third wild card. That's just
Yes.
what we're going to be doing, I think, the whole season.
Yeah.
And is it good enough with the payroll? I don't
No.
care. It's not my money. Find a way into the playoffs, find a way to win playoff games. And I mean, no one's thinking about payroll with a couple runners on in the seventh inning of a playoff game. It's just what you're doing for me lately. Find a way to win games. I think this team knows the recipe to winning a lot of regular season games. I think they can do it. They put themselves on a bad foot to start, that's for sure. But the quality of opponent has shown you that it hasn't been easy. So things, I'm hoping they will turn around. I want to have something to talk about in September that isn't what are we doing next season.
Yeah, and where are you at, Avery, with the discourse we already are hearing about like uh moving guys at the deadline? For me, I've had enough of it. I think it's like to be talking about what are we going to get for Gossman, Vladdy, Bo, all these guys in on May the what is it, May the 7th or May the 8th right now? Like that's a little crazy, no? Like that discourse is insane right now.
Yeah, but that's how you feel when you're watching the games.
Yeah, that's
When we
fair.
watched the game last night, that's how you had to feel. It's just, dude, you got killed 10-1. The Bryce Harper grand slam goes up in the air. The Sportsnet cameraman has that thing pointed to the legit moon. And you think maybe it's not going out, and then it's just 30 rows deep. Cody Clemens, same thing. It was crushing last night what we watched. But then again today, you find a way to get it done with some really good starting pitching, good bullpen outing. Like Romano was shaky again, but you found a way to win the game. And you had some clutch hits. The bottom is doing his thing. I think I like IKF a lot.
I I am slowly, I don't even think it's slowly anymore. I am slowly becoming an IKF guy. I really am. I don't know
His
what it is.
defense at third base is sick.
The way he plays the game, Avery, is like it's what you like. The guy is an absolute grinder. He grinds together at bats. Does he hit home runs? No, he almost did today. Shout out the foul ball that we thought that was going to be heard around the world. But IKF plays the game like the right way. And he's not an unserious at bat. Like he's cashing in runners like we saw today. He's doing stuff that is helping the team win. He's not hurting this baseball team right now.
No. And he has enough bat control that you can do fun things with him because he did the hit and run today, right? Was it
Yes.
Schneider at first?
Yes.
Uh, so that was the ass out swing that he hits through the 3-4 hole, which is first and second base. Um, Ass out swing, do a job. You go first and third, and you score a couple runs that inning. It's exactly what you need, man, from those bottom guys. And it's nice to have people on base where you can run and do those things. The George Springer leadoff thing as well. We just need him on base a little bit more, man, because he's stealing. He
On an
has
insane around. I think he's 6 for 6, right?
6 stolen bases already. So I am the first one to shit on him. I don't think he should be hitting leadoff at this moment. Like too many things have gone wrong for him to be hitting leadoff at this moment. Like, you can put him back there. I think it was hurting him and the team at the same time. Like both of them was not working for them. So change things up with him. Try someone else in there for a short amount of time. Um, but I was ready to be out off of that. But then every time we chirp George Springer, he's gotten a hit the past 2 games, and then he stole a
That's
base
come on. We
today.
can't be celebrating that.
We're
Like
not
that.
so we're not celebrating that. It's like he's getting on base and stealing what you want from your leadoff guy. We just need to find him a way to get on base more.
Yeah. I
Because I'll
did
read
want
the
to go into
stats. I'll
this.
read the stats. Today I did it. There are 20 hitters in Major League Baseball who have more than 100 plate appearances in the leadoff spot. Here's where George Springer ranks out of 20 qualified players for this stat. Average 19th out of 20. On base percentage 20th out of 20. OPS 19th out of 20. Weighted runs created plus 20th out of 20. Weighted on base average 19th out of 20.
That's not going to cut it. And
Not even fucking close to being good enough, brother.
this is not a knock on George Springer. I say you move him down in the lineup until he figures it out and you could start seeing old flashes of George Springer. Him getting the most at bats right now for this team is ludicrous. It's ludicrous.
Yes. Baseball is a game of ups and downs. We know it. We watch it all year. you got it's hurting the team having him in the leadoff spot at this moment.
It
Put him
is.
in the 7 hole. Move David Schneider should not hit 7.
Davis Schneider hitting 7 today blows my mind. I tweeted it and I want to talk about this. Since Davis Schneider's debut, right? This is 231 plate appearances. This is not a small sample size. He has a weighted runs created plus of 162, an OPS of 934, and an on base percentage of 390. And John Schneider hit him in the 7th hole today. He is potentially your best hitter. He is the best hitter on this team right now. Justin Turner's cooling down. Danny Jansen's Danny Jansen. He's a great middle of the order guy because he mashes and pulls balls. David Schneider getting potentially the least amount of at bats on this team continues to blow my mind. And how John Schneider hasn't looked at the numbers and been like, "Oh, we have to move this guy up," is insane to me. It's insane.
Do you
I can't
think
believe we're still having this talk.
do you think John Schneider and his manager's handbook is like the 7 hole is where I want my best guy?
I don't know. I really don't know, and I don't know why he hit 7 today in a game that I'm not going to say must win, but you had to split this series
They
or
had
the
a
sky is falling.
they had a closed door meeting. They had a players only meeting yesterday. I think that's like an urgent time. What did you I think we're on the same page on this, so I think we can probably move on, right? Anything
Yeah,
more you kind of want to say on this?
yeah.
The John Schneider freak out. What did you think of that yesterday?
Listen, I think he did it to create a spark on this team. I really did. I think I know there was a ton of discourse like, oh, he knows his job is on the line here. He knows this and knows that. I don't know about that,
Sure, he's
but
on the hot seat. I think most people know that.
yes,
I think the hot seat might ride out till the end of the year, no matter what. But
yeah,
it was not going well.
yeah. And I think he just was trying to show Barrios and the team he had their guys back, man. I mean, Kyle Schwarber, did he swing? I'm not sure. I don't know. I know we talked about it on the stream. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he did. I don't know. But I think he did that to show Barrios and show the guys, like, listen, I have your guys back. When John Schneider gets mad, he is already like a permanently red guy. When he gets mad, holy shit, does he get his money's worth with that? Because he is a loose cannon when he is mad.
Yeah. I think it's funny when people talk on Twitter too, same thing. Like I wonder why people don't like John Schneider. He's in there for every single strike call, chirping at the ump. I think you don't realize how much that shit matters to the people in the dugout.
Yeah, they don't want him just sitting there. Like Charlie
No.
Montoya used to do that.
No, but Pete's doing the same thing. It's you have to do it's just how competitive you are as a person. You're hanging on every single pitch for 162. That shit means something all the time. And it shows how important it is to those guys. Again, the umpires might hate you after doing it all the time, but it shows how badly you want it. So I have
Yeah,
no problem yelling at umpires, borderline balls and strikes. He was a catcher growing up too. He sees that. When your catcher sets up at a spot and it hits his glove perfectly, you can see up and down from the dugout. You can't see in and out, but you usually signal to the catcher, be like, hey, was that in or not? They'll look at you if they
I
think
agree.
it was. So I have literally no problem arguing that stuff. I think it shows how much he cares about it.
If I'm a player, I want my manager doing that. If I'm a pitcher and I'm getting squeezed and I see my manager just in the dugout just chilling on the top step, I'm like, what are we doing? Like,
Yeah,
let's go.
100%. You could rebuttal and tell me, yeah, that's not going to help you though. The ump's going to be mad. I don't know, man. When you're in that moment, it's hard not to feel that way. It's hard not to do it and stay silent. So
It was a
that
sick ejection, though. I will
he
say.
free. I hadn't seen him that angry ever. He told the third base umpire that he wasn't watching the game, which is very funny.
What a chirp! What a chirp! What a chirp from John Schneider. Yeah, it was a fun freak out, but I guess yeah, that's not really much to talk about in yesterday's game. They were just lifeless. They sucked. They were dead, and that's where we'll leave it at. But let's go into today's game before we go into the little Gate 14 after dark, and then we'll do the series. You want to do the series recap after the Gate 14 after dark?
No, we'll do that first.
Okay.
Do that
Um,
first.
today's game rocked. You got timely hits. Danny Jansen just is awesome. Like he is awesome. I saw that he is leading all major league catchers in all offensive categories. I'm obviously a smaller sample size, but Danny Jansen's weighted runs created plus above 300, above 200. Sorry, his OPS is very high. he just is a guy that you need in this lineup and you pray can stay healthy because he is such a valuable asset. They got to extend this guy, man. They have to because he's going to get paid on the open market.
Yeah, there's not a lot of great catchers on the market, I don't think, for this offseason. So
No.
Jano will get paid. It is a night and day difference between him and Kirk behind the plate, just the low strike, how they catch it. But Danny Jansen, if we talk about his hitting, is everything you love of the old Toronto Blue Jays. You get up there, no batting gloves, so nails. Love when he does it. Love when Kyle Tucker does it for the Astros. I think it looks insane. I think it looks so good. Gets up there, puts his hands in the dirt, feels himself,
How's it dipping?
gets ready to hit, and he just pulls balls. It's awesome. He gets up there looking to do damage, and you see by his swing that he's looking to do damage. It's old school Jays ball that Danny's one of the best when it comes to that, man.
Yeah.
I took this down yesterday. The Blue Jays leaders in pulled fly ball percentage, which we know is the best way to hit home runs. Danny Jansen's leading it. Of all his batted ball events, 22.6% are pulled fly balls. It's great. Varsho second, 20.5%. David Schneider third, 15.4%. Makes sense. The guys who are hitting the most home runs right now are pulling fly balls. So
Yeah.
that's nothing new for anyone that listens to this. But that it just kind of shows you how successful it is.
Yeah. And we can talk about the man of the hour from today, the guy who saved the bullpen and saved the team when he needed it. Chris Bassett. What a start. I mean, this guy has been scuffling. He'll be the first to tell you that for over a 5 ERA this season. Uh Comes in there against the Phillies A lineup. This is the big dogs. Obviously, Trey Turner wasn't involved in this lineup because he's injured, but comes in there and just absolutely shoved. 6 and 1/3, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 6 punchies, 2 walks. Didn't have his best stuff. If you take away that third inning, some of the best stuff I've seen Chris Bassett have in a very long time. He looked incredible, man. He is just he is a gamer. He is a true gamer. Chris Bassett is, man. He really is.
I have nothing but good things to say about that start today. It was a shows what being a leader is all about. Two, piss poor performance the night before. The team talks it over, and you get out there and you pitch one of your best outings of the season so far. Hats off to that. I haven't looked into some of the deeper numbers. I don't want to today. I'm just gonna be happy with a win and Chris Bass pitching really well.
Yes, incredible stuff from Seabass. Obviously, kind of got once he gave up that hit in the seventh, I was like, maybe we should pull him. Then he gave up that double to Castellanos. But other than that, though, man, it was again the bullpen did what it had to do there. Bases loaded, no outs. They get 3 outs there, only give up 1 run, right? Like that's you minimize damage. That's what this bullpen's supposed to do. That's what this bullpen has done for over a year. If you discount April, which it was very bad, but that's what this bullpen's supposed to do. So it was just nothing but good things from this team. The players only meeting happened. I don't know if it was players only. I know it was a team meeting. Who do you think talked in that, Avery?
Justin Turner.
You think Turner did? You think Bassett maybe said something?
Bassett's been pretty good of saying things out loud to the media as his way of
Yes.
talking.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised if he did it, but I think it's a Justin Turner chat.
Yeah. Justin Turner, maybe he's probably the only guy I could see talking, to be honest. Like maybe I don't know if Springer can based off how he's been playing, right?
Yeah, do you think it's always funny the pitcher for teams I've played on, never played in the big leagues, no shit. The pitchers versus hitter dynamic, right? Because half the time they'd still quietly bitch about each other, I'm sure, right? Like the pitchers are doing really poorly and the hitters are hitting, they'll say something to each other one off. It's like, oh, like it would be nice if we
Yeah.
could get some people out. So it's interesting. I think more of the issue, they've both been poor. More of the issues is the bats. So I think a hitter would have stepped up and called that one.
Yeah. This is a funny exercise we did last year, and I want to talk about this because we're talking about players only meetings. Who do you think on the Toronto Blue Jays have never talked to each other?
Okay. Yariel Rodriguez and Ernie Clement have never talked to each other.
That's a good one.
No,
That's a really good one.
no chance have they ever talked to each other.
I don't think I do not think Zach Pop and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. have ever said a word to each other.
I like that one too.
I don't think they've even looked at each other. I don't think if they were in a room, I don't think if Vladdy was in a room, he could pick out who Zach Pop is. I really don't.
I'll agree with that one. I like that one too.
I love that exercise. It's so funny because you truly like it's like we always had that. Like I played with guys that I never talked to, like
Yeah,
on my team and stuff, and I'm on the team bus with them, I'm grinding with them, but I'd never like have conversations with like pitchers, right? You always
exactly.
have that.
Yeah.
But speaking of Vladdy, we got to give the flowers to this guy, Avery. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. The lot has been absolutely unbelievable these last 7 to 10 days. His last 7 days, Vladdy's hitting 321 with a 387 on base and a 464 slugging. Last 15 games, he's hitting 276 with a 344 on base and a 379 slugging. Vladdy got another 3 hits today. One of them was an infield single, but you put the ball in play, good things happen. He has been just a complete 180 of what we saw earlier in the season. He's having good at bats, getting deep into counts, swinging at good pitches, hitting balls hard. Hit 2 balls over 115 or 113 today. Vladdy is really starting to turn that leaf and show why we have such high expectations for him.
Yeah. You'd hope for some more slugs, some more extra base hits. But right now, the at bats have, you're so right, 180'd. It looks like he's in control of them again. Maybe get a guy throwing gas up there, like what he faced Sir Anthony today and he struck out on a sinker low.
Yeah.
It feels like he's in the at bats the whole time. It doesn't feel as bad. I would like him not to chop it to third as often, but you'll take what you can get with him. I agree. A complete 180. Would love like to have a couple home runs mixed in there, so we can get some run production. But I've been really happy with Vladdy since the fuck up. I will get his stats after this and tweet them out. Since Vladdy fucked up in Kansas City, dropping the ball, I think he kind of took it a little personally. It was his fault, and he's been really really good since.
Yeah. And then another thing, we talked about Bo Bichette. Like he was scuffling. Everyone knows that. And he had an at bat today that single-handedly pretty much won the game. Like runners in scoring position for Bo Bichette. Obviously, a guy that his confidence isn't at the plate right now, right? He's not that confident at the plate. He comes up and hits that opposite field single that we just know Bo Bichette does with runners on.
Yeah, he does that
That
115 times a year.
which is just vintage Bo Bichette. Again, you got to tip your cap. That was some good stuff from Bo Bichette because he could have turtled. He could have given up this game and just showed like, all right, fuck it, whatever, and came through for the boys and provided extra insurance runs that this team needed. So Bo Bichette was unbelievable today, man. In
I
terms of
do
just
also like how he's taking it, like the demotion.
yes,
He's not being a whiny baby about it, which I don't think he is. He's taking it in stride. He's like, okay, like I understand what's going on here. He's thinking it clear view, and I appreciate that when your hitters can say that. I would
yeah,
like maybe George to be say something like, hey, I need some help here, but it's whatever. Good for Bo. Praying he gets back on track here soon. Need him to.
Kevin Kiermaier was incredible today too. Celebrated when he touched on an infield single like he hit the touch 'em all Joe, which was a bananas move. I'll say it, an absolutely bananas move. But it was a great productive day from the bottom of the lineup. I mean, IKF 1 for 4 with that single. Schneider 2 for 3. I mean, the bottom of the lineup today went 6 for 11. That'll play. That'll play.
Yep.
Especially with how bad the top of the order has been. Where are you out here with Justin Turner? He's kind of scuffling, man.
He's getting velo up. Like that was the way to beat him
Yeah.
from what the chart said. And he's getting pitched to that way again. So
Yeah.
not going to be worried, man. He's going to hit his home runs. He's going to do his damage, but he's not a 350 hitter. He's a 250 hitter, 260 hitter. So when we get to that, I'm going to have no problems. He's got a tough time hitting the up fastballs, but who doesn't have a tough time hitting fastballs up in the zone?
Yeah, exactly. Juan Soto currently 2 for 2 with 3 RBIs, by the way. Oh my
Juan Soto's the
God.
best baseball player to
He
ever
insane.
play.
Absolutely insane. But anything else from today's game? I mean, bullpen shut it down. I mean, Romano it's always a circus act with this guy.
Nothing's
And
new. Nothing's new with that.
nothing is new. I don't know. Like we talk about this. Every team technically hates their closer or whatever,
Yeah,
but
they make it tough.
he makes it tough. He makes it tough. I don't know if it's more than most, but I know maybe it's the lack of times he has pitched this season because they haven't really had a chance to save a game in the past like 10 or 12 days. But I thought they were gonna blow that with Whit Merrifield coming up the revenge game,
Oh, that
but
would have been so funny.
thank God they didn't.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
God they didn't. But yeah, good split against a really good team. So I think we said we'd be happy with a split. We said the opposite though. We said they would win game one and lose game two, but in Blue Jays fashion, they of course beat Aaron Nola.
Yep.
So that's where we're at with that. But let's go to the weekend series here before we go to Gate 14 after dark. Um, we are missing Pablo Lopez. Check. Thank God.
Yep.
Thank God.
We
We
unfortunately
have
get
Joe
Joe Ryan.
Ryan. What?
Yeah. Unfortunately, we get Joe
Unfortunately,
Ryan.
we get Joe Ryan, which we will be there in attendance on Friday, by the way. Joe Ryan versus Yusei Kikuchi, Simeon Woods Richardson, revenge game against Kevin Gossman on Saturday. And Sunday, they don't have it up yet. I believe it probably is going to be Manoa, correct?
Yeah.
Manoa probably on Sunday. Uh, fuck it. Jay's taking 2 or 3.
Jays win 2 of 3.
I think they win Friday.
I think so too. Joe Ryan's really good. But the Twins, I'm thinking the Twins or the Mariners. Yeah, I'm thinking the Mariners who aren't scoring a ton of runs right now. Uh, it'll be a tough task to beat Joe Ryan. I think you say is up to the test though. And we have to worry. The Twins seem to have a number on Kevin Gausman too, if we remember
Yes.
from last season. So it might be up to our good friend Alek Manoah on Sunday to go for the series win.
Woods Richardson has been nasty this year. I don't know if his advanced numbers have been nasty, but this is a revenge game here for
That
SWR.
he got traded for Jose Barrios, if you don't remember that.
Would have been sick if it was Barrios versus him, though, huh? That would
That
have been
would be fun.
unreal.
Yeah.
That would have been unbelievable. But yeah, I think the Jays take 2 or 3. We will be there on Friday in the building. Shout out Alto, shout out Curtis. But I think this is going to be. I think we get things going again back at home. And the good thing is they go Twins, and who do they face after the Twins? Did we talk about this before?
Isn't the O's right after?
Twins, and then they travel to Baltimore. Uh Jesus Christ. Okay. That's where we're at.
Yep.
But what are you thinking about doing this full uniform section game of that White Sox series on the Wednesday?
We'll talk about that.
We'll talk about it on Sunday.
Yeah, I like the
Talk about it
thought
on
of it
Sunday.
though.
But anything else, Avery, for the series?
No, we're gonna head into Gate 14 after dark. It is a listener question thing, just kind of like Jay's talk. How they do that. We're gonna send a Zoom link for the next time because if you are about to listen to this, you've missed the first edition of this. We'll get you in a Zoom, have you say a couple things, and then chat about it for a little bit. I'm excited for this. Let's make it a good thing.
Let's make it a good one, huh, guys? Huh? I'm excited to hear some of these takes. But anyways, love you guys. And next time we talk to you guys will be Sunday night. And let's go into the debut history. Gate 14 after dark. All right, Gate 14 after dark. We are here. We got tons of people in the waiting room. Let's cut to it right now. First guy, he was here early, so I'll start it off with him. It is Fluffy. Fluffy will be joining. We met him a couple weeks ago or last week, I believe. So, Fluffy, how are we doing, man?
Hey guys,
What's
how's it
up,
going?
What's
brother?
up? What's up, Fluffy?
Not a lot. How are you guys?
Good, good. What do you got for us?
I want you guys kind of like to touch on Zach Pop and what you guys kind of think of how he's looked. Looks phenomenal in my opinion, but kind of touch on what he's kind of done so far.
Okay. Thank you, Fluffy. Thank
Yeah.
you, Fluffy. All right. All right. Yeah. So Zach Pop. Zach Pop has been incredible. We talked about this on the podcast. If you guys listen to it, he's been unbelievable. Avery talked about it, right? Avery's like, what is he? The last guy on the chart, unfortunately.
He's probably the last guy on the chart. Yeah.
Yeah. It sucks, but if he keeps putting up numbers like this, I know he has options, which sucks, but I could see him being a big part of this team at a certain point.
It's really
Especially
good to have
without,
options with your relievers. It
yeah,
helps your team out. We saw the crunch when you have other things going on and
yeah,
you don't have optionable relievers and you have to make roster moves. That's a whole shitstorm. So good
yeah,
to have options and good for him to pitch well when you have options. So
yes. Should I keep the people in here while we answer it? And
yeah,
yeah, okay, I will.
yeah, we got you.
All right. How's it going, boys?
What's up, Scott?
First
How we
question I
doing?
got. I'm doing all right. It's good to be a part of history here. Just first thing, what's it gonna take for Schneider to be fired? How low do we have to go to see him gone?
It's
Avery, you
got to
want to take
get
this?
it's got to get disgustingly bad, I would have to think, right? Like this
Yeah, I think
yesterday felt like it could be time, and then you sleep on it and it doesn't feel like it's time. It's got to be 10 games under 500 a month from now, I think.
yeah, I agree there. I think the ownership knows wherever Schneider goes, they go. They fire Schneider.
Yeah.
They're clearly not making the right decisions there with management, manager wise. So I think they will at some point understand that their time has been coming to an end if they fire John Schneider. So that's where I'm
Yeah.
at with that. I appreciate that, Scott. Thank you for calling in, brother.
Thank you.
Great call from Scott there.
Great call. Great call. Great call. Yeah, listen, I mean, the Schneider stuff's weird. It's everyone wants him gone, everyone wants him dead. It's like,
Who know? We don't really know how much what they do.
yeah,
It's a
exactly.
collaborative effort all around. I was talking to Keegan a little bit with like who does the lineup, and he said that's the thing about saying that it's a collaborative effort. No one really has to take that on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a weird spot to be in. We got another one joining in here. He's been in here for a while, I believe. This is it's a learning curve here for the Gate 14 boys. We got listen, it's 5 seconds. You're in or you're out. That's it.
Hello?
Tristan, what's up? What's up, Tristan? How we
What's
doing?
up? What's up?
What do you got for us?
I'm just disappointed in the team, man. You know?
Yeah, it's been a tough one. It's been a tough start. 17-30 the Toronto Blue Jays are close to the bottom of the American League, last place in the American League East, but yeah, it hasn't been great. What are your thoughts here? What do you got for us? What do you have any questions, or is it just we're just doing pillow talk here?
Here's a remark I got. I think they should fire everyone other than Pistol Pete. Get everyone out, clean house. I mean, Guillermo Martinez is terrible. He's terrible.
I don't know what he does. That's the problem.
It's been 2
I'm
years
not-
of shitty batting.
I'm not
But
quite sure.
he was also there when they were really good.
Yeah, I know.
That's true.
That's the thing, right? He was also there when the Jays were good. So it's like you had the good times with the guys.
Yeah.
You know, it's a tough spot to be in. But I appreciate you calling in, Tristan. Thank you. Next guy, I already see Curtis in here. I'm not gonna like this one, but we're gonna go to EJ. We're gonna cut it to EJ here. Some good calls so far. I mean, a lot of disgruntled fans. Obviously, it's a little bit to the point where I know it's a little bit better mood because they just beat the Phillies, so they're a little bit.
I think yesterday would have done insane numbers.
Yesterday would have been insane and very it would have been very bananas.
Yeah.
This would have been the takes that would have been flying. But we have EJ here. EJ, what's up, man? What do you got for us?
Chilling, bro. Chilling, bro. How about you?
Good, man. Good. What do you got?
Fuck, man. I mean, it's nice that we won today, obviously. Like, I'm not going to complain about a win, but, like, I mean, it was the same. Bass was sick. That was awesome. I mean, Romano did Romano things, but it's still very much a singles-oriented offense. It's, I'm encouraged by Vlad, at least, not rolling over everything he sees. But I mean, we scored, what was it, like 10 of our 12 hits were singles still, so not really too much changed from that perspective. I still think the line of construction is really terrible still. I did like moving Jansen ahead of Bichette at least, so there was that. But I mean, I'm generally unchanged of how I feel. It sucks.
I think that makes sense, and a lot of people are at that point, and you can be at that point, and that can be fine until you see significant change, which you're not going to get in this lineup anytime soon. It's just the players have to play better, and I don't think there's a second way of this. Who is Aurelvis coming up going to fix this team when their three best players aren't their three best players start the year?
Where are you even going to play Aurelvis is the other thing, right? Like, I mean, obviously they would like try to find a way to put him in, but like we've been talking about his issues defensively for however long. He doesn't really have a position. We've been playing him at second base, but second base is already kind of clogged a little bit. Like we already have, David Schneider at least getting about half of his plate appearance at second base. We have Biggio there, who's Biggio struggled a bit recently, but early on he was one of the only Jays doing something. I mean, Aurelvis would probably be an upgrade over him, but it comes back to the argument of, do you want Aurelvis coming up here? If you were to promote Aurelvis, you'd want him playing every day. And can he possibly play every day with the current construction? I don't 100% know. If he's hitting, obviously, we would try to find room for him because we need offense. But, even that, like you're saying, I don't know if that, like, solves anything necessarily.
Yeah, I think think IKF playing to what's almost his peak to start the year is taking them away from wanting to call him up as well. It's like have him have a sick year in the minors, play every day, and keep that going. IKF's been the option that they were hoping for him so far. And
Yeah.
maybe fans are hoping that he wasn't going to do that so they could play some of the other guys, but I think he's been serviceable and doing a good job so far.
Yeah. Thanks for the call, EJ. And listen,
Great call.
I think the biggest thing here with this team is right now is the fact that last year they were really relying on the offense being singles and doubles and just kind of nickel and diming you. And this year, that kind of philosophy has been masked by a very bad bullpen. I think the bullpen being bad has kind of screwed that over. And it's kind of showed kinks in the armor of what this team really relied on last year. So,
but it's the
great
same
calling.
thing. It's harder. It's harder to get 4 singles, I think, than just someone hitting a home run and you score a run that way.
Yeah.
Like you're facing major league pitching. It's not easy to do.
Exactly. Let's go to the next caller here. We got TK. TK, you're on Gate 14 After Dark. You are a part of history, brother. What do you got for us?
Hey, man, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Guys, it's an absolute pleasure to be talking to you guys here. Big fan.
Thank you.
I just want to say, what are your thoughts on completely blowing it up and just building this team around Sanchez and Joey Votto?
Listen, it's very nostalgic. If you would have told me in 2016 Aaron Sanchez and Joey Votto would both be on the Toronto Blue Jays in 2023, I'd probably punch you in the face. But we are here. We are we are at the final destination of this club, and it will never not be funny looking and just getting updates from Joey Votto and Dunedin. He is just on a vacation right now in Dunedin with the boys, just enjoying his time, and all you could do is kind of just tip your cap. So
I got to a point last night where I said in a text message that Joey Votto should probably be the manager and play when he's healthy. That's how fucked up my brain got at the end of yesterday.
There it is. TK, thank you for the call, brother. Appreciate the support,
TK.
man.
No problem, guys. See you guys.
The removing part is the tough part of this because
you need to get a mouse. You need to stop using your trackpad there.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how to. Maybe I'll take one from work. Let's go to the next one here. Dylan. I don't know if people want to say their last name, so I won't say it. But we got Dylan here. Dylan, you are a part of Gate 14 After Dark. You are a part of history. I do not see your microphone on. Now I do. What is up, brother? What do you got for us? What do you got for the fellas, Dylan?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up, brother?
What's up, boys? This is a tough stretch for sure. It's really disappointing, I used to be, I came home from school every day, was hyped for ball, but now I just don't get that vibe anymore, Like today, game was on at school kinda, and I didn't even know it was on. I got home from school and I didn't even know the game was on. That's like how tuned out I am from this. It really sucks.
What's gonna bring you back besides winning? Nothing, right?
Honestly, just runs.
Brother, well, it looks like you won't be watching for a while because this team is not made on runs.
No, like I turned it on today. I got home and the boys were putting balls in play with 2 outs. It was really good to see, but I don't think that'll even happen on Friday. We might lose 1-0, but
it is a Joe Ryan bump day.
It is
a Joe Ryan bump day. I will say, let's just shy away from some Blue Jays talk here. How's school going, man? How's school going?
Grade 12 year, final year. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
What school are you going to?
Yeah, we're gonna graduate on time. Are we getting out of there?
No, we're getting out of there. I'm going to Durham next year.
All right, the Durham Lords. Lords.
Hopefully playing ball there yet. Haven't fully done the signing yet, but we'll see.
All right, thank you, Dylan. Best of luck, brother. Appreciate the support,
man.
Appreciate
it, boys.
Easy, buddy.
Go Jays, baby. We're gonna come back.
Let's ride. Here we go. All right, just kick them there early. Listen, I don't know. You have your 10 cents. You give your 10 cents. You're in and you're out. All right, that's how we do it. This call is going to be either very funny or it's going to be a call that's probably going to get clipped. We have Sam joining. Sam joining the chat. Sam, what do you got for us, buddy? What do you got for us, Sam? Would love to hear the takes. The takes flying off here. What do you got? Mike's
Sam,
off.
Sam, you're muted, man.
Sam, you're muted, brother. What's
You
up?
good, guys? Can you hear me?
Let's
Oh,
hear it.
there
What do
we
you got
go,
for
Sam.
us?
Okay, my hot take is I think this franchise has lost its identity. I think Ross Atkins has officially turned this team into the Cleveland Guardians 2.0.
Guardians won 2 World Series.
Guardians have an identity, though. They're scrappy and shitty to wins.
Yeah, but they don't hit home runs, though.
Listen, I agree with you to a certain degree. I do agree with you.
I think we just don't like our team's identity. That's the problem.
Yeah, I think The thing is,
2021 we had like Lourdes, Teo, and Marcus Simeon, and now it just feels like they've gone for less power and more run prevention, which is kind of hurting the offense. It's helping the defense, but it's hurting the offense. And I feel like that's kind of what Ross Atkins and Mark Shapiro built with the Guardians in the 2000s and 2010s.
Yeah,
that's
I don't
fair,
think it puts that many asses in seats.
It doesn't. It doesn't put asses in seats. And the thing that sucks is they got away with it because they were in a very poor division where you could kind of get away with doing this kind of run prevention type of thing, and you could get away with like 88, 90 wins to win a division. So I do agree with you in that certain aspect, Sam. But anything else? You got a prediction for this weekend series for the people? What do you think happens?
I think they take 2 out of 3. I think
there we go. There we go, Sam. There we go.
What about the City Connect? Do you guys go into the 31st? I got tickets for the 31st just to see them.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. We don't plan that far. If you know Gate 14, we don't even know what we're doing this weekend. So I appreciate you calling in this, Sam.
Thank you,
Sam.
No problem. Thank you. Bye.
Easy, buddy.
Yeah,
be very easier if the guys would just leave on themselves, but I don't give them enough time to do that. So next one, we have a name that Avery should have used. We have TJ joining here. TJ will be joining. It's taking a little long here. TJ, what's up, brother? What do you got for Avery and I on this beautiful fine Wednesday, first edition of G14 After Dark? Maybe tell us where you're from as well. Your mic is not on, so I'm just out here just yapping away to try to kill some time.
Can't connect to the audio, man.
Can't
That's
connect
tough.
to the audio. Where are we at, TJ? TJ, you're running. TJ. All right, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and he's gone. He's gone. TJ, you got. If you're gonna come here, you gotta come correct, brother. Okay.
All right, yo. So my question is, if George Springer do you think George Springer would get traded? And if so, when would he get traded from the Blue Jays?
All right. Thank you, Devan. Listen, I'm not a stock guy, but I don't agree with trading assets at the lowest value they do have. That George Springer contract is looking very, very rough right now, to say the least, right, Avery? I mean, where are you at with this, Avery? Like, what do you got for him? I don't really know.
It's who wants what his bat is giving right now? Not a lot of people.
At that money,
it almost feels like the Jays would have to eat some of the money to send him somewhere. So I don't think it makes a lot of sense. George Springer goes in a full yard sale. I don't think he's a great rental piece for teams. He still has term. Things will have to get really bad. The season will have to be catastrophic for him to get traded this season.
Yeah, I agree. They'd have to go Luis Arias type of style, where they essentially have to eat up a large chunk of his contract to end up trading him, right? Like that's the only avenue I see it going. But we're here with Zoom user. Who is this?
My name's Jack.
Okay, Jack from where?
I'm from Newmarket.
All right, we got a Newmarket boy. What's up, brother?
Yes,
what do you got
sir.
for us? What do you got for us?
This is bad. Like, this is really bad. I'm always against like blaming the coach for everything, but Schneider doesn't know what he's doing. This is twice in a row where you've had Montoyo and you've had Schneider. They don't know what's going on. Neither of them have. I mean, Schneider's in the system for God knows how long, but at the major league level, this guy has no idea what he's doing. And I can't stand it.
Has an idea?
It.
Who do you think? Like, what managers have an idea though?
Well, beats me, right? I'm no baseball insider, you know what I mean? But like, see, my point of view here is like, why are we finding these irrelevant guys? Like, Texas went out and got Like off the top, what's it? Is
Bochy.
it Bochy, and what's his name? Showalter was with the Mets for a year. But somebody like I feel like Showalter, someone with actual experience would be good. Like someone with actual major league experience. I don't because they fired Showalter the year after, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like they need someone with actual major league experience, one of the old school guys, because these Montoyo and Schneider they're taking it easy on the guys here.
I
And
agree.
these lineups, they're inconsistent. I hate them.
Yeah, they're trying to switch stuff up, but they're switching stuff up in the wrong places. So
I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with what you're saying. Thank you for calling in, brother. Appreciate it.
Of course.
That was a good call. That was a
Nice
good
to
call.
see you guys.
Great call. Easy, buddy. Cut him. Listen, I'm too quick on the trigger of cutting guys. We love you. I'm sorry, but I am way too quick on the trigger.
We do need a producer. Maybe I can get my brother to get people in and out. Yeah, we can.
Yeah, I'd like that. I'd like that. Or maybe, like I said, if you submit your application.
One of your fellow countrymen, it looks like.
Listen, we got a Italian lad in here. I'm hoping. Vincenzo, what do you got for us, brother?
What up? What up? This is Mile High 6 from YouTube.
What's up, brother?
Yeah, happy they ended with a split. It's not one of those 2-1, lose at the end of the series going into an off day. Hound on the mound, your boy was great. He rebounded from bases loaded, and Vladdy had a 3-hit game. Just a positive day for once.
How mad were you yesterday?
I turned off the game when I saw Bryce Harper's grand slam.
Yep.
I couldn't. I had to watch NBA. I was watching your stream, but
there it is. We appreciate that, man. Listen, I'm not going to get mad at the fans for the lackadaisical performance the Toronto Blue Jays have had in the past 3 weeks. It's been, Avery, 2 weeks. It seems like centuries ago the Jays won 4 series in a row. I mean, It feels like centuries ago. But it has been incredibly bad to watch the past 10, 11 days. So I appreciate you calling in, Vincenzo. Thank you, brother.
No problem.
Thank you, man. Great call. Great call there. Listen, a lot of disgruntled fans here. Next up, we got another guy who is quite familiar with the brand here. He's always supporting the boys. But, yeah, and listen, I understand where the fans are at, Avery. We have to watch this team every goddamn day. Might as well hate watch it, right? James, what do you got for us, man?
Oh,
and James, what do you got for us?
Zoom rookie. Sorry, fellas.
No worries, man. What do you got for us?
Long-time listener, first-time caller, fellas.
There we go.
That feels good. Yeah, first one we got. Let's go.
There we go. What's up, man?
Do you guys know when Blair and Barker are on tomorrow morning? I'm just wondering when I should tune in.
I have no idea.
Okay. What's the vibes like, guys? Just obviously, get a win today, split series, but they had to have a meeting last night. Just kind of how you guys feeling now?
I won't speak to Avery. It's just I'm not going to go full Wilner coward mode and say it's early, but 17-20 is not great. People are quick to forget Toronto Blue Jays were 500 at the All-Star break 2 years ago and won 90 games, which again still blows my mind that was an actual thing. I'm indifferent right now. I will know by the end of May how I feel in terms of how this season's going to go. Right, Dave?
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I'm not ready to give up yet. It is insanely early. 3 games under 500. Playing a ton of good teams early. They haven't shown life in their 20 losses. Feels like it. But I'm not ready to give up on it yet.
Yeah. Thank you for calling in, James. Appreciate it.
Thanks, fellas.
Oh, sorry about that. Thanks so much for having me on. I just want to say that you guys rock.
Thank you, man.
The offense pop off today was super nice to see. Hopefully Vladdy keeps going like that. John Schneider's got to stop putting George to bat first in the lineup because, clearly pressure might be getting to him a little bit. Drop him down, find the guy who's hot. And I agreed with Avery's tweet the other day. Him getting ejected, showing all that emotion might be a bit little too late.
I kind of changed stances a little bit on it. He had to, Barrios has been your guy the whole year. He did get fucked on that. We thought he swung. So you know what? I'm fine with that. Freak out a little bit. Tell the umpire doing a shit job. They hate him anyways. Might as well just play into it.
Yeah. I'm with you there. I do like the fact that he's showing emotion, we talked about on the podcast that he is starting to pick up his guys, show that I'd rather get tossed instead of you guys. So I do agree with that. And also manager ejections absolutely rock. So it's some incredible stuff to see when your manager who clearly his blood sugar's high, or I don't know where John Schneider's at, but getting tossed is absolutely electric. So is that all you got for us, Jordan?
Just one more question, if you guys
Yeah.
don't mind. Just in terms of Alec Manoah, he was looking pretty good, a couple bad pitches against Washington. Do you think that they'll keep like going to him, even if he's struggling, but his numbers look good?
I think this is his last chance to kind of prove it, right? Because everyone's going to come back soon. Bowden's throwing. Yariel's back with the team here soon. I think they'd rather have Yariel throw. But again, their thing is they want to limit his innings. And I think the injury might help limit the innings as well. So maybe a couple starts and he gets to the pen and Alec goes. So I'm really at a loss to what they do with him because it wasn't a crazy change from what we saw last season.
Yeah.
It seemed like the swing and miss stuff was a little better than last year. The control was a little bit better than last year, but the walks were still there. They still found it easy to hit.
The stuff also did look better, though.
100%. When you got that sinker glove side, I thought it looked really good. And then he just seemed lost.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you, man. Thanks for
Thank
calling
you,
in, brother.
Jordan.
Thank you very much for having me, guys.
Appreciate it, man. Have a good one. All right, next we got someone named iPad. iPad kid is joining. That was a great call. I like that kid. That's I love calling guys kids, by the way. It makes you feel like a mature adult. iPad, gonna need to hear your name and where you're from for the people. You are live here with Gate 14. What do you got for us, iPad? Uh-oh.
Oh,
Annie is left. I mean, what are we doing? You come in here, you don't have a name, and you're doing this. This is bananas. Next up, we got Jack F. Next man up mentality. Jack, start firing away. Turn that microphone on. Let it fly with the Gate 14 boys. What do you got for us, brother?
All right, boys. It's Bose Kakuchet. How's it going, boys?
What's up, man?
What's up? Listen, I'm gonna be real with you guys. I am not a day one ride or die hard for this team. Okay, I started watching in 22. Now, to be fair, my family's been Blue Jays fans my whole life, and if I were to ever watch a baseball team, it would be them, right? But I'll just get that out of the way. I liked the team in 22 because I was bored and I looked at the team and I said, okay, listen, they're doing all right. They're fun. They're young. Now, 23 comes around. I mean, we all know how 22 went, right? That was not great. 23 comes around and it goes poorly as well. And in addition to that, they get rid of a lot of the fun, a lot of the young, and replace it with boring and old. No disrespect to the old guys, because to be honest, I mean, Belt was the best hitter on the team. So, like, kudos to him, I guess. But in my 2 years now watching this team, they've gone from fun, young, and with potential to old, boring, and looking not so great in the future if our young stars are going to continue to play the way that they've been playing for the last 2 seasons, maybe three if you count 22. I can't remember if their stats were all that good in 22. So, when I see, like, I don't even really want to watch the team anymore because I'll be honest with you, I'm not the kind of guy who's going to be watching a team that's only winning 60 or 70 games. I'm just not in sports like that, to be honest. Never have been.
Yeah.
So watching this team is depressing as fuck because I feel like I'm gonna lose like one of my big pastimes. Like when this team is good, I love watching them. I love the camaraderie with the boys on Twitter and going to the games and everything. But when they're bad, they're fucking bad. They stink and they're just so boring to watch. It's unbearable.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you. Listen,
Jack, great call.
I'm in the same spot as you. It's been tough to watch. It's boring watch. When you go to the game, you kind of feel like you've wasted a couple hours when they're not putting up numbers offensively and all that. So I do agree. Avery, what do you got for them?
It is unfortunately how defense and pitching make you watch baseball because the Atlanta Braves are so different than the Toronto Blue Jays. And it's because they go out there and they hit their way out of everything. And you think of it as a fun, as exciting team. You think 2021, fun, exciting team. 22 scored a ton of runs as well. And then its run prevention is not that fun baseball to watch. And there's so many people like you, Jack, who watch baseball that way. And I can't fault a person who says they're a new Blue Jays fan. Fuck, like you got to start somewhere if you're going to be a fan of the team. But it's a tougher product to watch if you're not diehard baseball fan. 100%.
Yeah, thank you, Jack. Appreciate it, brother.
Oh man, how you doing, man?
Good, man. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great. I wanted to just speak about that Vladdy Davis Schneider situation.
Okay.
How do you perceive what do you think about that? Like because the way I'm looking at that is the team, like I think the maturity of Vladdy is kind of coming into question by even some of the younger guys. I know Davis is like I think he might be older than Vladdy, but what do you think about that? Because I feel like he should have grown out of that childish behavior by now.
I don't know. It was a nothing burger to me, man. I think no one really likes to have water poured on them. I know I wouldn't.
Yeah, that's true.
I think it was just a nothing burger. I think Davis obviously was probably taking pictures with friends and family after the game. He's in Philadelphia. There's hundreds of people there to go see him, and I think he didn't want to be drenched. I honestly, knowing Davis on a personal level, he doesn't give a fuck about that stuff. I think it was just a nothing burger that was posted online to just start having people spew takes. I think that's what that was.
I haven't heard one bad thing about Vladdy from anyone.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, I don't think he's a bad guy, but I do think that like kind of remember the jacket thing. Like there was the 2 years ago there was that entire maturity movement. It just feels like I feel like Bo he's searching to be a different person. Like he's trying to figure out how can I make this team better. And Vladdy, he just seems like he's still content with who he's been, and I feel like he should be maturing, trying to figure out maybe I shouldn't do this, maybe I shouldn't do that. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I get it. I get it. I mean, it's a tough look when you're 3 games under 500. I get it.
yeah,
But
yeah, it all goes back to like the record.
if you're winning, it's no problem, right? If you're
Yeah,
winning, no
that's
one's
true.
complaining. So I appreciate you calling in this, brother. Thank you. Thank you for calling in, my man.
All right, man. Thank you.
Easy. All right, let's go next up. Caleb, your mic is on. Can you talk?
Yeah, man.
What's up? What do you got for us?
Do you think there's any way Ross Atkins gets fired?
They don't make the playoffs. It's probably close.
Listen, I think if they make the playoffs, it is a hard thing to do to fire a manager that's taking you to, or a GM that's taking you to the playoffs 3 years in a row. I think it increases ticket sales when they're making that playoff push at the end. I think ownership is completely okay with making money and doing enough to make the playoffs. Unfortunately, I think that's where I'm at, Avery, with that. Where are you at that, Avery?
100%. They just need people in the park right now. It'll be interesting to see because I don't think they want to do the full rebuild, obviously. And if you go to do a full rebuild, the two people who were brought in to do the rebuild last time didn't succeed. Why would you give them another chance to do the rebuild, right? So,
yeah,
I think it's got to be really bad at the end of this year.
Hi. Yeah, sorry, I was on earlier and my phone died, but
no worries. No worries. What's up?
Yeah, no, I was wondering, I don't know if you guys answered this or not yet, but I'm kind of under the belief that Springer shouldn't be leading off. Who do you think should be?
Okay. That's a good question. We talked about it on the podcast. Listen, it's a tough discussion to have when you pay a guy as much as you pay George Springer and tell him he's hitting in the 8-hole, right? I mean, it's
that's
like,
insane, yeah.
You know, it's a tough conversation to go to George Springer, a guy that's a World Series MVP, one of the guys you bring in here, and you tell him, listen, George, we're going to move you into the 8-hole of a lineup that can't hit right now. So I'm not quite sure, Avery. Avery, what's your conversation with George Springer?
The conversation isn't good right now, but I'd like Davis there right now. Justin Turner maybe up there as well. But,
Ernie.
Dude, like even IKF, it might be uglier, but give him a chance. Do some fun things at the top.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you for calling in, Megan. We appreciate it. See ya.
Check. Apologies. Check.
There we go. What's up, Craig? What do you got for us?
But I just wanted to tune in, see, get a taste of what the fan base is feeling. See if there's anybody that can shed any optimism that can that can turn our frowns upside down tonight.
Yeah, this will be dropping tomorrow on Gate 14, so we're just kind of pre-recording it because we do not know how unhinged our listeners can be. So we're just pre-recording it. But what do you got for the people here, Craig? What do you got?
Well, for the Fire Atkins crowd, if we're looking to fire Atkins from a roster standpoint, there I can't agree. I mean, I didn't see anybody before the season started. It feels like hindsight to me. I didn't see anybody before the season started saying this would not be a playoff team or predicting these type of woes. The positive regression seemed like it should happen from guys that should be pretty good. And added Justin Turner, that's the best hitter on the team. IKF has been a pleasant surprise as well. Now, if you're in the Fire Atkins crowd from the managerial and coaching decisions, I couldn't be more with you on that. If you gentlemen know, you guys watch all kinds of sports. In all other sports, when there's a hiring decision to make, it's a process that takes place. They bring in candidates and they sit and meet with candidates, and you get ideas of, you're outside of your own bubble. You get ideas for your franchise going forward. You get ideas about how your franchise is viewed going forward. And in this hiring cycle with the John Schneider, I mean, how did Joe Madden not get an interview, get talked to? Joe Girardi, there's so many guys with American League East experience. And if you remember, gentlemen, the Blue Jays made that hire of John Schneider during the World Series. So by rule, they weren't even allowed to talk to all the, the up and coming bench coaches, hitting coaches, you name it, the up and coming coaches who at that time coming into 2023 would have loved to come and coach Vlad and Bo. Bo at that time was the two-time defending hit champ. Vlad was only one season removed from that 2021 video game season. And the Blue Jays didn't even bring in people to have a conversation with. They went with John Schneider from jump. And the pushback I get is, well, what if Schneider was their guy? Well, first of all, two questions then, gentlemen. First of all, number one, how was Schneider your guy? What did he show you in the interim that showed you he was the guy to run this ship going forward? And number two, I would have felt so much better. I might even have leeway to this day for John Schneider if the Blue Jays did an actual interview process and came out of it saying, listen, going into the process, we thought John Schneider was going to be our guy. Coming out of the process, we're now certain John Schneider is our guy. I'd have more leeway for this guy right now, gentlemen. Yeah. None of that happened. It was organizational malpractice. The fact that Schneider was the manager in 2023, spent 2023 shouting from the rooftops that he is not the right person for this job, and is back in 2024. I mean, the hair regrowth for me, gentlemen, is just not happening. So if you're firing Atkins for the player personnel or the personnel decisions, I can't agree. If you want to fire Atkins for the managerial and coaching, I'm right there with you.
Thank you for calling in, Craig. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Craig.
Yeah, I'm with them. I'm with them there.
The thing is, didn't John Schneider have a historic record with the Blue Jays?
He did. He did. I am with him though in terms of that, like at least scoping out the process and like interviewing guys. I think jumping the gun and immediately signing someone and hiring John Schneider was, I don't know. I guess it's all hindsight looking back on it because of how bad the team has been offensively and how boring the brand of baseball has been to watch. But they were really good. The one like they won what was it? They won 34 games and they won 90 games after they hired him. They made it to 90 wins. So I don't know where I'm at with that, but I can see where you're making the point in terms of the not at least going through a hiring process, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Next up, Mr. Baby. Unmute that mic, King. Unmute that mic, King. Let's go into it first. How's life been, Commando?
I
chills
love it.
in your voice again.
It feels good.
I don't want to talk about it and make everyone leave Twitter.
Do you know who else you made leave Twitter though?
No.
Mario.
Yep.
No way.
Yep. What do you got for us, Mr. Baby? How you feeling, man? I mean, we haven't listen. I get the odd text now, but how are you feeling with this team right now?
Cool. They're on comedy mode. Just a bit on comedy mode, which is fine. They won today, and yeah, season's back on.
Who's been the funniest player?
So I was gonna call in and a little bit of bow talk. A little bit of bow talk.
Okay.
I guess my big question to you guys is: have you ever been as addicted to something as Bo Bichette is to hitting the ball to the second baseman right now?
Listen, it is a scheduled tweet. Like if you are a second baseman and Bo Bichette is up to bat right now, just get that glove ready, folks, because that ball is coming directly to you, perfectly shifted, no move, ground ball right to your glove. It's insane, YJ's.
Well, how does the swing doesn't feel like it looks different to me? What about you?
No, it's kind of what he's supposed to do. It's kind of what he did all last year. He's just decided to just make sure it goes into a glove every time.
The swing today, Bryce Harper was in at first base and he almost caught the ball still. Like, I think if he's at normal depth, he makes the catch and things are a different story.
Yes, that's a good point.
Why are they fine to move Bo, but George Springer stays put?
Well, there's like 3 good hitters maybe, and it's the rest are just kind of, hey, let's move you for someone who also sucks, but we're also insulting you in the process. Which is like, I would love to see it just because change is awesome, but yeah, no, I mean, Bo has the thing going on, like when Varsho's bad, he only hits pull side foul home runs and then an out everywhere else. He just is like set at the wrong like direction.
Yes. You are correct in that aspect. But before we get you out of here, where are you at with our King IKF?
He's the best. He doesn't get in the way of anything. You don't think about him, and then when you start to think about him, you're like, oh, I don't have to think about him. He's just been a ball player.
He really is.
Can you talk, Vlad, what you texted me earlier today?
So I was going a bit into it. So people have talked about it before that he just doesn't crush fly fastballs anymore. And I was wondering, like, does he see more fastballs than most people? And he kind of does now, but looking that, he faces the fastest fastball on average, which is wild.
That's insane. So that means a pitcher brings their A game when the Vladito steps up to the plate.
Yeah. Maybe it's because they face nasty Luis Heel so many times. It's early in the season, but I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah. Well, where are you at for this Twin Series? Let's get a prediction for you out of 3 on this series.
And I want to know how much baseball you're watching because you're locked in, I think.
Oh, he's locked in.
Oh, I'm watching as much as I can. There's nothing changed.
Okay.
Nothing changed. I'm watching Amish.
Do you? I need to know. Do you feel better? Because I think I would feel better without it too.
It's so good. It's like embarrassing to say it's so good to not be on. Sorry, everyone.
There you go. And there goes half our followers on Twitter. They're all leaving now.
Don't go, guys.
Thank you, YJs. Love you, man.
YJs, you're the best, man.
Thank you, guys.
Easy, buddy. Well, that was Gate 14 After Dark. Some great stuff here. It's nice to talk to the people. We got a lot of callers. That went 50 minutes. There's tons of people that left as well. I'm assuming our mentions right now on Twitter aren't that great.
If they saw what we were going through, we tried our best. I promise you.
We tried our best with a lot of the guys. So we appreciate you guys calling in. We will be doing this again next week, I believe, on Thursday because they play that day. Well, we'll let you guys know we're doing this.
Yeah.
Anyways,
sometimes we might not be able to do it if it's like a late game before we have to record.
Yeah.
But as often as we can do this, we will.
As often as we can do it, we'll do it. This was fun. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Everyone that called in, thank you.
Wednesday we can do it next week. 12:35 game against the O's. So next Wednesday.
Wednesday we could do it. Love you guys. Gate 14 forever. Thank you guys for tuning in. Let's have ourselves a weekend, and we will chat Sunday night.